Hello once again. Oh shit.
No, go
We
ahead.
didn't go. Yeah, that's the one thing
we-
we went through like a 5-minute prep thing before the show, and the one thing we didn't talk about is who's gonna start the show.
You do it.
Okay.
I did it last week.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Luke and Brent back again for a watch along / tournament season preview. We got Colombia versus USA going on right now in the background, and while we're just gonna break down the things that happened this week, and then also the look ahead to Copa America and Euro 2024.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be some exciting tournaments, huh?
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited. So, before we get into that, just wanted to kind of loosen the gears a bit since it's been a week, and also it's the first week we actually kind of put out content, and then I actually tried to edit it to make it a little bit more enjoyable for you guys. So, I have the stats up right here.
Let's look at the stats.
And
so I'm curious about.
Yeah, so you haven't looked at it at all.
I haven't. I just looked at the shorts that you put out. And
yeah.
I thought those were pretty good.
That's good. So
wait, did you know that you misspelled Royce? Was that on purpose? You put Ruiz.
Did I do? Did I?
Yeah. Don't flame
yeah, it's
him
fine.
for that.
It's fine. It's one of the earlier ones. I had a couple typos. I looked back.
Okay.
And I forgot that one, but yeah, I misspelled Royce.
I'm surprised no one said anything.
Yeah, I mean, just a little channel.
Yo.
We got 7 videos up, so obviously there's not going to be much attention, but we did get 500 views.
Oh, we
First
did?
500 views.
That's
of
crazy.
The channel. First 500
that's
views.
Crazy.
Yes.
499 were from me, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
Close to it. I
No,
mean,
I'm just kidding.
a majority, if you look at it, a majority did come from the shorts.
That's cool.
Which, I mean, of course, like, it's new. We're obviously, like, just last week, you could still see the outer part of my bed as we were recording this. So this is not the typical channel you would probably subscribe to immediately. But, you know, we got a couple eyeballs on the channel.
Yeah, that's dope.
And I'm cool with it. Of course, we got to get more people onto the actual show itself. But, you know, the clips of it, if they're doing well, they're doing well.
Yeah.
And the one by far that eclipsed everything was, have you seen this one, the short?
Which one was that one?
You eclipsed the short. It was the second goal in the final. The Vinny goal.
The Vinny goal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see it. Let's watch it
real quick.
Yeah, let's play real quick.
Oh wow, what a giveaway! You got to give it to Vinny. If Vinny doesn't score here, man, it's
End game.
And that's game. That's game. What a terrible giveaway.
Yeah.
You gotta feel for Dortmund.
Wow, and look at
man.
Vinny celebrating. Woo! Yeah, he's loving it.
Yo, and you know Real Madrid are inevitable. They're inevitable.
That's just the point.
Is that the one where people were like, "Why didn't she celebrate?"
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So this one got a little bit of attention. I think just because there's a couple likes from I imagine some Madrid fans or some Spanish people out there. Appreciate the likes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got one comment, our first comment of the channel from It's Devster FIFA, and he said, "Why is Blood not celebrating?"
Yeah, I guess I owe the Madridistas an explanation. So basically, I feel like so I'll explain to you how I feel like most Madridistas feel.
Yeah.
Because you know you're not really a Real Madrid fan, you're like an Arsenal fan, right?
Yeah.
But so like I feel like this was the common feeling between all Madrid fans. The moment we beat Manchester City on penalties, I think every Madrid fan knew we were going to win the Champions League.
Okay, fair.
Because we had never beaten Man City at the Etihad ever, right?
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Not even back then when they were like under Roberto Mancini, like his coaching. We had never beaten them. We had only ever, at best, drew them at home. So to beat them, we still didn't beat them. We beat them on penalties, right?
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing like people say Rodri's streak didn't die then.
You could say that.
I mean that.
You could say that technically.
Technically you didn't lose. Oh wow, what a terrible miss by Colombia.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Colombia with
we're watching Colombia and USA. So, but yeah, so I think I knew for sure we were gonna win the Champions League. I was a little worried after Bayern scored Alphonso Davies. That right foot cut in, that had me worried.
Mm-hmm.
But I always kind of had a feeling. I'm like, you know what? We might come back because we always come back. Not always, but usually, right?
Yeah. I mean, typically in the Champions League,
we usually come back in Champions League, And as soon as I saw Joselu score, it's like God intervened in that goal, right?
Yeah.
It's like Neuer was having a perfect game, and then
and Colombia just score here.
perfect. Not that I'm against the USA. I just
No.
got to parlay over 2 goals. I'm a USA fan, but
Just looks like a corner.
yeah.
But as they're celebrating. Continue.
Yeah. So, as soon as Joselu scored with that touch of God, like I swear, God just kind of like tapped Neuer in the back and he's like spilled it. I pretty much knew. I knew Dortmund. I mean, Dortmund's a great team, but they just had no chance. I mean, they had some good moments in the first half, but like they showed their age. Like they just weren't clinical in the final third. So, the reason, that was a pretty.
Yeah, I mean, if
the Heat.
It was like an overhead kick. Yeah, sorry again with the
overhead.
ADHD energy, but this is kind of how the show goes. We're not showing the visuals, but go back and watch the second goal from Colombia versus USA. That's a fantastic goal right there.
A little bike.
Yeah, nice overhead kick. And they're up 2-0 now.
Yeah. So that's the general consensus for Man City fans. So I actually felt bad because that second goal was like it was a terrible giveaway. Like if Vinny would have drilled past like Hummels and he would have just like torn that like defense and then chipped the keeper, I would have been like, wow, that's fucking amazing. I would have lost my shit. But the way like Maatsen just gives away the ball straight to Bellingham, and Bellingham just kind of glides it past Hummels, and then Vinny does a little Özil like kick into the ground and chip over the keeper. I just felt for Dortmund at that point. I kind of felt bad for them. Yeah. I'm like, wow, like they shot themselves on the foot. So I'm still happy though. Like I'm happy we won.
Of course
I am.
Yeah, it's just the disposition of a Real Madrid fan. It's your 15th.
Yeah, it's the 15th.
It's what the 6th. You've seen the whole 6 happen in the modern era.
Yeah,
so.
Like we said last week, we've been watching it since 2010, 2011. That's like when we started getting into it. So I was there when like Madrid was like coming off their worst period, where we hadn't won La Liga in 3 years, and we hadn't won the Champions in like 10 or something, you know. And you know Ronaldo, Benzema, Kaká, Xabi Alonso, they all came to save Real Madrid. So you know, comparing it from that time, you know, I used to get excited when we won the first Copa del Rey. Against Barcelona, where Ronaldo like leaps past everyone, man, and he just scores that like header for the final. Yeah, that's probably like the craziest goal that I celebrate whenever I was young.
Yeah.
But now it's more like like I know we're a good team. You know when you're a good team, like so you feel bad for whenever like a team makes a mistake like that. You never want to see a good team give away a goal like that.
Yeah. So I mean that's your answer. It's Devster FIFA. It's just how it is.
Good example.
Yeah.
First leg against Bayern, the Saliba mistake, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean...
Arsenal were dominating until then. They were dominating.
It's one of those things where a mistake like that can easily turn the game. And with your example right there, that Bayern-Arsenal match where we were hosting Bayern, had them where we wanted them basically the first 25 minutes, and then that mistake happens. And then the game flips. It's all of a sudden 2-1 in the first half, and it's a completely different game if you didn't tune in for the first 30 minutes.
Yep, and that kind of shook Arsenal, I think.
Yeah, it did.
That's hindsight. That's hindsight talk.
Hindsight, yeah. Right? I mean, that was last season.
Because we didn't get to talk about that then. But let's talk about some current news.
Yeah, of course. And let's get into some transfers before we get into what we're here for. And nothing really popping off. Really, just one transfer that we always have to get to, but for right now, we got Ginuel Bolosian. I totally murdered that, but Bayer Leverkusen picked up a little 19-year-old center back from Rennes.
That's good.
Nice little something I mentioned because he's probably going to be there for the time being. Yeah. We'll probably hear his name more often and in a better pronunciation from someone else a little bit more professional than me.
They need to bulk up their squad a little bit for the Champions League.
Yeah, they do. So I think that's just added depth.
Yeah,
and
depth.
They're building from the bottom.
And they need to, I don't know if their luck will continue next season. It's not luck.
No.
It was a lot of skill. It's a lot of hard work. But I'm saying to basically go and beat in the whole season, except for the final, obviously, but to go and beat in the Bundesliga, you gotta have a little luck.
Yeah.
Like a couple of games I've watched of Bayern Leverkusen
Mhm.
where the ref, I'm not saying refs favor them. All I'm saying was the ref gave them a couple more seconds for a last minute free kick, and they just so happened to get the lucky bounce against Stuttgart, and then that free kick goes in.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is luck is involved in soccer.
Yeah. I
You
think,
make your own luck.
of course.
You make your own luck.
Of course.
So-
But I think luck is a factor in this sport, and it's more relevant in this sport than a lot more sports. And also, I think that just that team's mentality to keep going and keep driving for a winner or an equalizer, I think that also helped them out. Because if you don't have that mentality necessarily, it's not going to be a team that's going to go on this complete run like that. So
Yeah.
credit to that mentality as well.
Yeah, amazing run, amazing mentality. But yeah, good that they're bulking up their squad.
Yeah, got a little youngster in, and then a couple of notable free agents, Memphis Depay and then Kelechi Iheanacho, have expired their time at their respective clubs. Atletico Madrid for Depay, and then obviously Leicester for Iheanacho. So we'll see where those two storied seasoned strikers. I mean, they've been in the game for a while.
Yeah, Iheanacho. I used to think he was gonna be the next big thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
back when Leicester was still like in the Champions League, they were always like competing for top four.
Yep.
And then, so yeah,
Yeah,
he,
just like that.
he's Man City player.
Yeah,
right?
he was from City, then he went to
former Man City player.
Leicester, and then has stayed there since. Then we got one quick one before we get to the actual big news that broke. Tosin Adarabioyo.
Adarabioyo.
Yeah. Tosin, my man.
Yeah.
Going from Fulham to Chelsea as a free agent. Not too bad. I mean, staying in London, upgrading clubs a little bit.
Where was he before?
He was at Fulham.
And he went to.
Chelsea.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah.
Will he play? I don't know this guy.
I don't know much about him either. I just think that's probably going to be the signs of Trevor Chalobah is probably going to be leaving the club if they're signing another center back. Then Chalobah is probably out of the door.
Oh, also Thiago Silva left.
That's true. That's true. Thiago Silva's out, but I imagine the board are probably going to want Benoit Badiashile and then Axel Disasi over Chalobah since they bought them. But who knows? Let's get into what we're actually here for, and that is the big news.
Yes,
Real
sir.
Madrid getting the turtle.
Yes, sir. Getting the turtle, Ninja Turtle. Also, very cat-like turtle, you know?
Yeah.
Because every time you try to pick him up, he runs away.
He's a clever one.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's just been a long, exhausting saga. I had some doubts that it was going to happen. If you guys know who Speed is, Speed, the YouTuber.
The streamer, too.
Yes, YouTuber, streamer. He thought that, I guess he was told that Mbappe was going to Arsenal.
What?
And so he put it out. He's like, yeah, he's going to Arsenal. And so for a second, I was like, could he go to Arsenal? Could he just shock the world and say,
He could.
you know, I'm going to go to Arsenal? That would be a crazy signing.
It would have been a crazy signing.
That would shift the Premier League drastically.
Yeah.
But he signed for Real Madrid.
Of course.
I don't know. I don't know how he's going to necessarily fit into the system. But I know the one man who can do it is Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That man, he pieces everything together. So I'm excited to see how we're gonna play. I think he got like $150 million signing bonus.
It's ridiculous.
Because he didn't have a transfer fee. Right?
Yeah,
so all that money went to him.
That's great for him.
But he took a huge pay cut. I think he went from $50 million a year to 35.
Okay.
So 15 million pay cut, but I mean he's getting it back in bonuses. So
yeah,
I think they also compromised with his image rights.
okay.
I think the most before they've ever done was like 50-50, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're willing to do 60-40 for him,
Wow.
where he gets 60 and they get 40.
Wow.
So I don't know the exact details of it all. This is just rumors, but yeah. Good, I guess good for Kylian, right? Like,
yeah.
he got to the club that he wanted to go to. He's been wanting to go to since
Mm-hmm.
he was like a kid. He got out of that toxic relationship with PSG and Nassar.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on it?
I think, of course, there was the rumors of he might go to Arsenal, he might go somewhere else. It's just always to me seeing that picture of him as a kid in his room with all those Real Madrid posters, with the Cristiano Ronaldo posters. I just thought, of course, there's going to be some whisperings because that's just a completely talented player that's going to attract any club, and they're going to throw any type of deal at them to try to get him to come to the club. And I just always thought it was going to be Real Madrid, and now I just think at this point I'm trying to piece it together. Of course, it's very early. He hasn't even had his debut ceremony yet, but where does this kind of rank on the scale of Galactico signings over the past decade?
I think in terms of, I think it's top 5 for sure.
Okay.
I think it's like probably up there with Cristiano Ronaldo and Zidane.
Okay.
I think the anticipation is that big.
Okay. Wow.
He's coming in. You know, Ronaldo came in as a Ballon d'Or winner already.
Yeah.
You know, Champions League winner.
Yeah.
Zidane came in as a Euro winner, as a World Cup winner. He came in Ballon d'Or winner. So the only thing that Kylian Mbappe hasn't done is just win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
He's won the World Cup. He needs to win the Euro too.
Hasn't won Champions League either.
Yeah, hasn't won Champions League. But what I'm saying is that the World Cup really elevated his status.
Yeah.
As it does. Now, is that fair? I don't know. Is a World Cup worth more than, let's say, 3 Champions Leagues? Maybe because it's more rare, right? Maybe.
Yeah, it's up for debate.
But it's up for debate. But the good thing is, he hasn't won 3 Champions Leagues.
Yeah.
He hasn't even won 1 Champions League. So I would have to say he's below Cristiano Ronaldo and Zidane. I would have to say, in terms of like hype and merit, basically.
Okay.
And maybe even Kaká.
Kaká.
Yeah, because Kaká had been a World Cup winner and a Champions League winner and Ballon d'Or winner, so maybe even below him. The thing is about Kaká, like, you know, you kind of got a little bit of a sour taste because he came injured.
Yeah.
You know, and he never really lived up to his full potential at Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if it had been Kaká from 2007, where he was like killing it, it would have been a different story.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
Okay. I understand. I think probably the closest one, since I didn't have all of the pieces, I think those are very accurate statements, and I think those should be ranked ahead of Mbappe in his career at this point. I was thinking probably just nudges slightly over the Bale. Bale coming to Real Madrid.
I would say.
And I think he's into that point. Oh, and USA hit the post.
Yeah, that was very
from across there. Hits the near post and comes out, and now it's into the throw-in. But
the thing about Bale was he never won the Premier
League.
League.
Thing. That's the one thing.
Never won the Premier League.
A very prestigious player in his own right individually, but when it comes to obviously the team accolades, he was lacking. So I think Mbappe squeezes right between either that Bale and Kaká spot, or maybe just a little bit higher. If you wanted to debate me on that, I could probably you could probably twist my arm on that.
Bale never scored 40 goals a season.
That's true. You can obviously Prem versus Ligue 1. We'll have to finally see where that difficulty scale starts to really even out now. Since he's now going to be a La Liga. La Liga is obviously a competitive league.
He saved it.
He saved it. Oh, he did get a touch on it.
That was a post. He saved it though. It wasn't going in.
Okay.
But yeah, he saved it.
Okay. Well, good save by the keeper. And now it's just where he ranks is interesting. We'll obviously have to see where it plays out in his career, but very, very prestigious player. It's going to be one of the exciting things to watch this next season. Where do you think what do you think he does?
I think he plays. First of all, I think he's going to play that number 9 position that we've been missing. He's going to be like a dynamic 9. I think more like a kind of like what Benzema was.
Okay.
But a little more attacking minded because Benzema. I'm saying Benzema with Ronaldo and Bale, not Benzema post Ronaldo, right?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of how Mbappe's coming in. He's coming into an already established world class team, and Vinicius. I mean, Carlo loves Vinicius. he's not going to sacrifice his Vinicius position on the left wing. And I think the one guy who's going to get sacrificed is Rodrigo.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have Vinny and Mbappe up top, and then Jude Bellingham. You're not going to sacrifice Jude Bellingham either. Jude Bellingham right behind him, and then probably a midfield of Valverde, Camavinga, and Tchouaméni. I think. Now that Kroos is gone, I think that's how they're going to line up. And when you just think about it, that's going to be a crazy counter-attacking team, crazy defensive team. I'll say this: the defensive part is what does worry me, though.
Okay.
Because the midfield is Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and Valverde. Those guys can defend and press all day. They got the stamina for it, and they're good at it. Vinny, he defends when he needs to, but sometimes he's a little bit, he stays up top a little bit. Bellingham, he's underrated defensively in my opinion. He's always making those runs to go catch up. I don't know if Mbappe. I think Carlo's gonna have to convince him to defend very well, and I'm curious to see how he's gonna do that. I think he can convince him, and I think if he just convinces him to defend and switch off with Vinicius, I think we have a deadly team. I really do.
Yeah, I think it's just an embarrassment of riches. I think, of course, the defense is going to be something you're going to have to really, really coach. That's the one thing that's going to be really rigid and structured, I think, for this next season. But you can just practically let them go anywhere and do their own thing, that whole midfield and that whole attacking three, once you get it lined up correctly.
Yeah.
I was doing this while you were talking there. I was curious because I was thinking about, of course, he's revered as an elite goal scorer.
What's this?
I have no idea. I'm looking at this. I have no idea.
Fire.
We'll have to figure that out. You'll see as this is going in the editing.
Fireworks.
There's fireworks going. I think they're going off a keyword. And I don't know what word it is.
Oh.
Because it's happened before. We'll have to see it again.
If you guys can guess the word today, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I might put a counter on how many times it happens. Because it's happened at least 3 times, I think. So, back to what I was trying to say. Obviously, big goal scorer Mbappe. I'm now trying to pull up the all-time scorers of Real Madrid.
Oh, you got Ronaldo at 1. I think Raul's second, right?
Benzema second.
Benzema second?
Benzema second's right here. I mean, you can look. You can look right here.
Yeah, I was trying to guess it without.
Yeah,
Raul's third. Though.
Yeah. And then Alfredo.
Di Stefano.
Yeah, and then you have all these other guys of the late eras of Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Do you think he cracks the top 10?
Mbappe,
so of course, coming in at 25.
So he's there for at least the next 5 years, right?
Yeah.
He's there for unless it just doesn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's just too toxic.
Do you think? Yeah. Do you think he scores more than 157 goals? Because that's what you would have to do to break in the top 10.
I'll say this. I think he scores at least 40 goals next season.
40 goals next season?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll say this. When it comes to pure finishing, he's better than Vinicius Jr. Way better. Vinicius is I would say he's a better dribbler.
Yeah.
And he keeps going and keeps going. But Mbappe's the overall better finisher. And if he can just develop that killing mentality on the club stage, because he has it when he plays for France. We've seen it in the last 2 World Cups. Whenever it comes time to it, he is the main man who just bulldozes through that defense and creates some chance. If you can just develop that, and maybe it was a PSG problem, because PSG are known for choking or not following through. So I think maybe he'll grow out of that at Real Madrid. So yeah, I do think if he stays at Real Madrid for the next at least 5 seasons, he has a really good chance of breaking that record. Because 40 goals for 5 seasons, what is that? That's 200 goals at least.
Yeah.
I think it's easily doable for him.
Yeah, that lands him around 7th or 6th. I don't think he's going to be able to catch
Cristiano.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get into the 300 goals, which that would probably start to rival Raul, Benzema, and Ronaldo. I don't think they're going to be able to catch that with the age that he's at, but I do think at this point this is probably going to be, if it all goes well, of course, we're barring something disastrous that he has, a fallout with Carlo or some other manager that comes after him.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the greats of Real Madrid in this new era.
Yeah.
I believe.
I
So
believe so. Is Vinicius on this list?
Vinicius does not look like he's on the list yet, but this doesn't look. I don't. Oh, he is on there with 24 place with 83 goals.
Oh wow! So he hasn't even broken 100 goals.
Yeah.
He breaks it next season. I think.
Yeah, he for sure gets in there,
Yeah.
in there
He
next
needs
season.
17 more goals.
Yeah.
He should be breaking into top. What is this? Top 20?
This is top 25 right
Yeah.
here.
He breaks it next season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So let's.
I think that's all for kind of housekeeping things, and then of course what's kind of happened recently this week. Now we kind of get into the the big stuff, the big content we were here for.
Let's pull it up. So
All right. Do you want to go Copa America or you want to go Euro first?
I said let's go Euros first.
Let's go Euro first. All right, we're obviously doing the
Euros.
FotMob tournament predictor here.
Oh, cool! You got it pulled up. Bet.
Yeah, I got it. So FotMob gives us a sponsorship. Shout out.
FotMob is a great app.
Yeah,
Great app.
great app. All the app you need for just football content. And let's just get into it. So obviously, I do have the Wikipedia page pulled up real quick. So obviously, 2024 host in Germany. We have obviously the two top winners of the Euros: Germany, Spain, Italy with 2, France with 2, and then of course just everyone else sharing 1 apiece.
So Germany. Germany is one of the most successful teams,
Tied with the most successful.
and they just so happen to be hosting the tournament.
Yeah, so just want to play that in because I think that's going to be one of the big things for this tournament. I think either one person is going to be leveling the record of 3 most wins in European competitions, or most wins with 3, or I think someone's going to be a clear winner. So that's just my preview. Now let's just get into actually predicting this whole thing. So
All right, let's start with
Group A, obviously.
I think let's do. You want to do predictions and analysis as you're going through? Analysis first, and at the end predictions of who goes through.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I think in this tournament, I think it's gonna be like similar to last time, where was it the best four third place teams go through the next round?
Yeah, that's correct. That's in the rules.
Okay, so we got Germany. I read an interesting stat on them. So they were on like a 6-match losing streak, right?
Yeah.
And then they recently just brought back Toni Kroos to the national side. And in every game he scored, or every game he's played since then, he's assisted a goal
Oh, really?
and won man of the match.
Okay. Wow.
So I'm kind of feeling like Zidane-esque vibes from him, you know?
Mhm.
Like this is his last dance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the only trophy he hasn't won. The only one.
The only one. And I think it is special since, like you said, Nagelsmann did specifically call him up and ask him to unretire from national play.
Yep.
And I think Germany has a lot to live for and to play for this European competition. Of course, at Germany, they've had kind of a terrible run of form when it comes to like the last 2 competitions, major competitions.
Yeah.
In European competitions, and then obviously in the World Cup.
Mhm.
Obviously, kind of going a shift in systems they were at with, obviously the tried and true Joachim Löw system that got them the World Cup back in Brazil. They went to Hansi Flick for a little bit. Am I tripping about that?
Hansi Flick took over and they did really poor.
Yeah, they did they didn't get out of the group
Yep.
last year, I think.
Even though he's a really good manager, they just didn't do well under him.
Yeah.
For one reason or another.
Mm-hmm. And so now we have Nagelsmann, the newer guard of German coaching, and we have obviously Toni Kroos and Muller, some of the older guard, Neuer as well of Germany, and then have this now new guard coming in with Havertz, Musiala, Wirtz. I think this is going to be an interesting thing, and I think Germany do go deep just because it is in their home country, and I think they have to perform, have to deliver.
Oh, look at this.
They did lose to Austria. I'm just saying. Brennan's showing me.
Is this? No, so that's before Toni Kroos got called up, right? So since Toni Kroos got called up in March, but the thing is they got a little glitch here. Like, is that the Greece flag? That is the Greece flag.
Yeah, that's a Greece flag.
So anyway,
let me see if I can just pull that up for the viewers, so we can just go into Euros. We can just select Germany. Just seeing how. Come on, FotMob. I'm just showing how great the UI is here.
Yeah, the recent form.
Fixtures, recent form.
So they've played. They just played Netherlands and they've won.
Yeah.
and then it's not showing, is it? But
No, I mean Netherlands was played on the 26th of March. So yesterday they played Greece.
Played Greece,
and then
they beat Greece 2-1 with the last minute winner.
Okay.
Tony Cruz got man.
A little Pascal Gross winner. Okay.
Yeah, they tied 0-0 against Ukraine.
Yeah, we're seeing
so
that.
maybe just getting the rust off, after not like playing together for a couple months. That's completely understandable. That's reasonable.
But beating the Dutch 2-1 and then also beating France 2-0, that's kind of one of the eye-opening fixtures. Of course, I really don't care much about friendlies, but I think that's very eye-opening that they did beat one of the greatest teams around right now.
Let's see if France were at their like full strength, and they were. They had they had Mbappe playing. They had Chouameni playing, Dembele playing. They had so they did. They brought out their best squad. Did they bring out their best performance? I don't know.
No, I don't think
I think you save your best performance for competitive games.
Yeah.
But if friendlies tell us anything, they at least have some good chemistry going on right now. So they're going into the tournament really, really good form, good mentality. It seems like it's working under Julian Nagelsmann. So that's a good sign. Yeah. I think they're one of the favorites, actually. I really do.
I agree.
Let's go on to Hungary.
Hungary
is one of those resilient teams that they managed to get, if I'm not wrong, either first or second last Euro in the same. Or no, that was I'm thinking 2 years ago.
No.
2 years ago, they managed to get like second place in the same group with like Portugal in it, and they bumped Portugal down to third.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. Let's check Euro 2020.
We can go back
to see if. So Euro 2020, they actually were in the same group as Portugal again, but they finished fourth. But I mean, that was a group of death.
Yeah, I do remember.
That was a group of
them being in that group of death last Euro, but them also being very, like you said, resilient, very defensive minded. They were hard to break down for some of those top teams.
Yeah.
Even in that group stage period. So I do think it's a team that's gonna make you work hard. Obviously, they have Szoboszlai, they have Shalai from I believe Mönchengladbach. They have those two known players. I think they have Orban too from RB Leipzig. So some talent around the top leagues of Europe, but I think they'll they'll just give the two teams I think that are top in this group a hard time, but I don't think they actually do anything or make any noise this competition.
Yeah, I say I agree with you on that. But one interesting thing, if you click on Hungary real quick and you go to their fixture history, they're in great form. Aside from that loss to Ireland, if you go beyond the loss to Ireland, they're coming in with like barely any losses. And it's a little easier to see on the mobile app.
But we got Kosovo. So, you keep... Like, Brandon's right. They haven't lost. Wow. Let's see last time they lost. Last time they lost was Italy in 2022.
Yeah, so they're
apart from that from the Ireland loss. Wow.
Yeah, they're coming in good form, which I say it's like a good sign at least. I mean, and they just lost to Ireland just 2-1 on this recent. And like I said, that first friendly match after the season, you're getting the rust off, right? And then they ended up beating Israel 3-0. So good signs. Like we said, they're going to give everyone in that group their money's worth. And I could see them getting a result even from Scotland or Switzerland.
That's going to be interesting. Like I think we'll get into predictions in a second, but I think whoever gets third does go off to the playoffs.
Yeah. That group is very tight.
Yeah.
Very tight.
But as you said, Scotland. Anything of note you want to talk about Scotland?
From what I'm looking at, Scotland's coming in like pretty bad form.
Yeah. Looking at the stats, they're the classic punt it long and then try to cross the ball into one of the big men.
Yeah. What big players are from Scotland?
There's Shea Adams right now. Who else is Scottish?
Let's look at their recent match.
Shea Adams is like the biggest, well-known. I maybe Kieran Tierney. I mean, he doesn't play for Arsenal anymore. Any others? Robertson, of course. Who else? The guy from Brighton.
Kieran Tierney.
The whatever his name is.
Billy Gilmore.
Billy Gilmore. There we go. Before I got roasted.
Billy Gilmore. All right, yeah. So they're coming in.
They're all right.
Not the best form. They beat Gibraltar, but I mean Gibraltar is getting like massacred, right? If I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
they're one of the worst international sides
if
of
I'm
all
not
time.
was that not the team who lost 14-0 to France?
It's either Gibraltar or
I think it was.
the Maldives.
Yeah, it was Gibraltar.
It was Gibraltar.
They
Okay.
lost 14-0 to France last November. So I mean, getting a win over Gibraltar.
I guess that's not saying something.
No offense if you're from Gibraltar. I mean, you just don't have a great national team. Is what I'm
No.
saying. So yeah, Scotland, so far the weakest team in that group, based on recent results.
Yeah.
Whether they
Yep.
show up in those types of forms in the tournament, it's up to them. Let's move on to Switzerland, who always seem to put up good stats in tournaments in general. Like they knocked out France last Euro, right?
Yeah, they did beat France last year. It was one of the crazier games, a 3-3.
Yeah.
Went to penalties.
Yup.
And I think, like you said, this is who coaches them, because he always gets the team up to play well for big tournaments, and I really have to credit them, of course, with Granit Xhaka there. They got Shaqiri, who's been there forever. They got Jan Sommer.
Coming off a good season, Granit Xhaka.
Yep, they've got, Fabian Schär. They've got Akanji. This team's only looking like it could do something again, and that's what I do believe. No, Okafor too. I mean, there's quite a few players. Cobal as well. I mean, I'm not
Summer.
I'm missing a few of them too.
They got a good goalkeeper. They got a good center back. Rodriguez, he's been consistent. I like the when he was at Wolfsburg.
Mm-hmm.
Xhaka, of course. What happened to Shaqiri? Is he injured? Oh, he's coming off the bench on this previous game. So yeah, they got a good team. I say they're either a little bit better than Hungary. Based on form, like their form is a little bit mixed, right? So
yeah, I got their form pulled up here on the.
Their form's a little bit mixed. They get wins. They get a lot of draws. I'll say that.
Yeah, they do.
Whole lot of draws. They win. So I think based on all those stats, you might be able to guess what our predictions are, right?
Yeah.
So let's go. Okay, let's say first place in Group A.
This is Germany.
I think Germany. I think that one's pretty clear. Germany's coming in hot. They're playing at home, and yeah, I think the team gives them.
Go 1-2 Swiss.
I think number 2 is Swiss.
Okay.
Yeah, Germany and Swiss are number 2. Oh, you got a little
slider.
That's cool.
Yeah. So this is great.
And I do think Hungary finished third. So based on just recent form and overall just sturdiness of the team, and Scotland. I mean, sorry, Scotland, your recent form does not entail that you'll have a great tournament.
Yeah.
But that's good. That means that you have nothing to lose, right? Like
no,
you have low expectations probably. So
I will say their fan base travels well. Obviously, the Scottish are very passionate people. It's more of a toss-up for me, but I'm not going to argue if you try to convince me that Hungary's going to finish third from there, because I think either one of those teams finish third, and then they go off and become a really tough round of 16 matchup for one of the group winners.
Cool.
But I think that's our Group A. Let's go into Group B.
All right, this is a good group.
It is a group.
This is a really good group.
Yep, yes, it is.
So let's start with Albania.
Let's do this real quick too. Sorry, Albania. Let's just do that real quick.
We're ending with Albania?
What?
We're ending with Albania?
No, we're going to start with them, but I think it's right we just put them fourth. I mean, do you think they're going to go third?
Dude, I was going to say they finished first, man.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Albania. You're in the group of death this year. Bad luck, I guess. I mean, when's the last time you heard of Albania, upsetting someone? Let's check the facts. Yep. I said we'll start with Albania. We'll still give them their due diligence, and we'll start with Albania first. Let's look at their recent form. If you want to pull that up, go back to FotMob.
Yeah, let's go over there to Albania.
They've beat Azerbaijan, Liechtenstein. 3-0, 3-1. Okay, so they're heating up coming into this tournament. But recent form against bigger teams such as like Chile and Sweden say otherwise, that they're not.
Yeah.
When it comes to the bigger teams, but for a while they put up some good runs. Before that Chile loss, they were actually on a pretty good streak of not losing. About seems like 8 games actually. So but when they play like bigger teams like Poland, Italy, and even Qatar,
Yeah, even Qatar.
I mean Qatar is an AFC champion,
Mm-hmm.
AFC like tournament champion. They just seem to like not be able to do great. So I think it is fair to say that they're the weakest team in that group,
Yeah.
soccer wise,
Yeah.
football wise.
Sorry to all those Albanians out there, but it's just like again, you're not a strong nation football wise, even if you want to. It's just not there. But
Do they got
wish you well
do
in
they
the
got
future.
any players that we might know? Let's look at their
Go,
recent
go,
match.
go look up.
Their lineup. I don't know any of these players. I mean, I'm sure one of them plays for like a good European
Yeah,
side.
let us know while you're scrolling through if you know these players. Of course, there's some people in the top leagues I see, but no name jumps out to me. I mean, Armando Broja, he plays for Chelsea and he was out for Fulham, I think, this season.
Oh,
That's
really?
the only person I know.
I know Heisaj from he was from career mode. He plays for Lazio.
Okay.
He was a good right back to sign back in the day if you wanted to build up.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Albania fourth.
All right, let's so
go on to the real players of this group.
Croatia.
You want to go Croatia? Okay.
Let's go Croatia. Croatia, dude. This might be Luka Modric's last tournament.
Yeah.
So he's gonna make the most of it. They just recently beat Portugal today. A good Portugal side too. Ronaldo wasn't playing, by the way, but good Portugal side. And overall, they're on a 6-match unbeaten streak coming into this tournament. Their last 2 losses they had were back to back, and they were against Turkey 1-0 and Wales 2-1, and they were Euro qualifications. But before that, you got to kind of stretch back a little bit more, all the way to the Argentina loss in the World Cup.
Yeah.
So they have 2 losses in 2 years, which I think is pretty good. And they're still showing to be like a quality side, beating some top teams like Netherlands. They drew Spain, and they did lose on penalties to Spain though. But they're beating good teams. They recently just beat Egypt, which is a good team. They got Mohamed Salah. And I mean, they just beat Portugal today, and Portugal's one of the favorites of the tournament based on their quality. So I mean, I think they're coming in really hot. I think they're definitely gonna finish maybe 1 or 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Italy or Spain doesn't make it into the automatic qualifying position? Really?
I
okay.
do, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I think Croatia just maybe they don't
look at
play.
the squad real quick before I make a decision. Try to convince me more because I really don't think this is happening.
I'll say this. I think Croatia, maybe they don't play. I mean, sometimes when they're on their day, they play amazing football, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm going back to their last competitive game on a big tournament stage, it was against Argentina, and they got absolutely massacred by Argentina. I mean, that's Argentina with prime Messi on a mission trying to get the World Cup.
Yeah.
But before that, they played against Brazil, and they barely won on penalties. And I mean, I'll say this: they just know how to win those games against those big, tough teams. Barring Argentina, of course, because that was just Messi on a mission.
Yeah.
But against those big teams, they just know how to fucking defend, park the bus if they need to, hold you to penalties if need be. They can't do that in the group stage, of course, but I think in the group stage, there's a little less pressure, of course, compared to the knockout rounds, and that's when they're going to play their more loose, free-flowing football. They got good players. You want to name some notable players since you got them pulled up?
I mean, you got Josko Guardiola, you got, of course, Mandzukic, you got Kovacic, you got Brozovic, Vlasic from Torino as well, as someone I've always seen as a nifty player. Of course, Ivan Perisic. I'm just looking at their front line. I'm not necessarily totally sold on what they got. Of course, you guys can roast me to say maybe these guys are better players, but Perisic is the only thing that comes to mind. I think, of course, international play, it's slower. You're looking more for somebody who can finish for you. I don't get me wrong. I back Croatia to actually be one of the 3 teams that actually makes it out or the 4 teams that makes it out of the 3rd place spot into the knockout stage. But I don't think they do anything exciting in the group. I think they could be a sleeper team
That's fair.
that makes it into the round of 16 and knock somebody out. Because like you said, their experience, they know how to take you all the way to penalties if they need be. So that's my personal opinion. I do not think they make into that first or second spot.
All right, that's fair.
So tell me which team doesn't.
Well, let's move on.
Okay.
We're gonna come back to predictions at the end,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So let's go on to Italy. Italy. Italia.
I think Italy are embracing the way their national team form is. They're fully embracing the Gattuso clip. Do you remember the Gattuso clip when he's at the
Where he's upset.
press conference? He's like,
pissed.
sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit. And that is the Italian way, I believe. I mean, obviously, winning the Euros and then not making the World Cup.
It makes no sense.
You Italians, man, you cracked the hell out of me.
And then having like amazing club form for the
Yeah.
last couple, which I mean, most players who play in Italy are Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you got consistently good Italian players playing on these Italian teams, making it to the latter stages of Europe. And I mean, when's the last time an Italian team won a European competition? It was Roma, right?
Oh, okay. European competition?
Yeah, it was
Fiorentina?
Roma. Fiorentina made it to the final, lost twice.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What am I doing?
Inter lost last year.
Atlanta. I'm thinking.
Oh, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Sorry, Atlanta fans. I totally forgot.
That's all. I was thinking of either the two conference, the Europa leagues that happened.
So they made it to the Champions League final last year with Inter. They made it to both the Europa League and Europa Conference League finals this year, and last year too with Fiorentina.
Uh-huh.
So they're putting good tournament performances. As far as their national team goes, let's look at recent form. So recent form says they're on a 5-match unbeaten streak. They've played notable teams like Ecuador and Venezuela. The last really big team they played was England, and they got beat 3-1. A little revenge from the Euro final.
Yep.
But if we go back before that, they lost to Spain 2-1. They lost to England again, and they lost to Austria. So they're coming in kind of like mixed forms, like the, you should edit in that Gattuso.
Oh yeah, I mean it's
funny.
Iconic of some of the. We might have to do one of those videos where we talk about some of the iconic takes from managers throughout the footballing careers.
Yeah,
but that's peak. I think that's one of the peak ones.
Yeah, it's peak. So that's Italy. Let's look at some of their notable players. Let's see who they recently just started in this previous match against Turkey where they drew 0-0, the most Italian result. They got Chiesa, who's rumored to leave Juventus.
Yeah.
I don't know why. He's their best player, or one of their best players besides Vlahovic.
Mm-hmm.
Jorginho, who Arsenal. Is that your dude, bro?
Jorginho?
Yeah.
Wijnaldum?
You fuck with Jorginho?
Oh no, not Jorginho, Wijnaldum. Jorginho, yeah, I like him. He's a great player.
Yeah.
I think he does better in the European competition setup rather than the club, just because of his pace and his physicality. But great player. I mean, he's gonna recycle all the passes you need from midfield and then do his job.
Yeah, you got Donnarumma, one of the best keepers in the world, playing there. El Shaarawy, name we used to see back 10 years ago.
Oh
remember?
yeah. El Shaarawy's still playing.
He's
Okay.
on the bench.
But you got Pellegrini and you got, like you said, Chiesa. You have DiMarco. That's probably a very nasty left-hand side right there.
DiMarco, yeah, he is really good.
He's from Inter. He did really well, especially in the final 2 years ago.
Is this Gianluca Mancini? Is that Mancini from Man City's son?
That's his son, I think.
That's good for him. Good for him. He's breaking into that midfield. Cristante, Brian Cristante. But correct me if I'm wrong. Did this guy not used to play a left back?
Which one?
Brian Cristante. I think he used to play wingback. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but he's playing DM for this last match.
Okay.
It says
Let's
DM,
look at his player profile.
Yeah. I guess not. I guess maybe I'm getting him confused with someone else. But yeah.
There's not like what you said. There's not many household names. You're gonna probably have to really sit down with an experienced Serie A fan to really get any good information, because of course the players of this new guard for Italy are not necessarily eye catching, at least right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, compared to like iconic players like Totti, Pirlo, Bonucci,
Mhm.
Chiellini,
Yeah,
Buffon,
even
like,
Balotelli.
yeah, Balotelli. Where's Ciro Immobile? Did he not get called up?
I don't think he got called up.
Oh, wow.
Again, another Ciro Immobile mentioned here on the
Yeah,
on the
Ciro
show.
Immobile. He's famous here. He's always in our minds. Anyway, let's move on to Spain.
Okay, I just think,
Yeah.
of course, not a team that's great when it comes to eye catching names, but I think they're going to be set up really well against Luciano Spalletti as coach, and I think
true.
they just do a job for me. They're not going to make any great headlines this one, but they're going to do their job.
I was gonna say, is that a mob pun? They're here to do a job.
I totally missed that.
They're here to do a job.
There you
and
go.
Just a job.
That was an opportunity missed by me.
All right.
But let's get in. Oh, wait, we forgot one more, and that is
Españoles.
Espanyol.
Those Españoles coming in great form.
Yeah.
Except against Colombia, who's, like you said, I guess you said before we started recording, Colombia's on a 2-year unbeaten streak.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
I don't know. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's just sneakily being one of the better teams in all club or international competitions.
But dude, if you look at aside from that Colombia loss, if you gotta go all the way back to
Scotland.
Yeah, Scotland. So they're on a great streak of form.
Yes.
Sorry, the beer's catching up to me. Arguably playing one of those great games against Brazil.
Yes.
The 3-3 against Brazil, where Yamin Lamar and Endrick score. Other notable wins: they beat Croatia on penalties. They beat Italy. Lost to Scotland after us shitting on Scotland.
Yeah.
So
they beat them back then, but who knows? Of course, these are qualifier games.
Lost to Japan in the World Cup, and then lost to Morocco on penalties.
That's right.
So maybe, but since then, only lost to Colombia and Scotland. 2 losses in 2 years. Not bad.
It is not bad.
And they're just catching good form. I mean, the last 2 games they played, they destroyed Andorra and North Ireland. I mean, which are not the most competitive teams to play against, but
No.
I mean, it's a good way to build your confidence up, get your scoring foot back on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're going in probably good form.
Mm-hmm. I think this team's going to be interesting to see. I don't know where they fit as a potential contender, or are they just in the stage where they need more time, or they don't have the depth necessary to get into those latter stages with those bigger boys in the competition.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. I think this team is very, very questionable just because we don't know how they're going to set up. Because I don't know much about Luis de la Fuente, to be honest.
De la Fuente. He coached the youth national teams.
Okay.
So yeah, he's. I think he's very familiar with all the players.
Okay.
And the national team. And they got a lot of household names.
I mean, yeah, they do.
They got Lamine Yamal. They got Morata, who's been around forever.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like he's who you go to when you want to launder some money. You know, you just stamp a Morata, transfer him down, launder your money, do whatever you gotta do, send it to some island, and then yeah, he's good for that. They got Nico Williams, Athletic Bilbao. Rodri, the best DM in the world. Pedri, one of the best young midfielders in the world. Nacho, Champions League winner. Probably his last time playing for what? I don't know if he's retiring or he's. They say he's going to MLS.
Okay.
So, but I mean, he's not playing for Real Madrid again, unfortunately. And Navas as right back, that will be replaced by Carvajal once Carvajal is back in top shape.
That is right. I mean, yes, of course. Got the players that are
Grimaldo, bro.
Yeah, Grimaldo is good.
Grimaldo or Cucurella every day, right?
Yeah.
Grimaldo is just so good. Joselu, if you need 2 goals in the semis, late.
If you need a target man, just punts it out top. He'll take care of it.
Yep. And what do you think about David Raya not starting over Simone? If you don't know Simone, he's the
I know.
Okay,
Simone is.
yeah.
I think Simone was up there when it came to. I don't know if I think Simone won the Golden Glove.
He did
for La Liga.
Yeah.
So
he's top keep.
I don't blame it. Of course, Raya has just now had his burst in success when it comes to his career.
Didn't Raya win the most clean sheets in Premier League?
Yeah.
So they got the best two keepers in both the leagues.
Yeah.
And the two top leagues.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy.
So I think it's just picking
Oh,
a
wow.
style. Oh,
No.
did I go in? No, it didn't go in.
Oh, maybe it didn't.
This is 50th minute from a corner. USA trying to score. I think Haji Wright just. Oh no, it's a free kick. Haji Wright, I think, puts his head on it and just sends it over the crossbar.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
saw
does.
the net move, so I thought
Yeah.
it was a goal.
Just dips over.
Oh, that's why the net move.
Yeah.
He's
So,
close.
Still 2-0 Colombia and USA if anybody's curious. But
Oh, it's good
What-
predictions? Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
we'll get into predictions just for a second. I just want to get one take in. I think, of course, this is a team with some stars and potential to go far. I just don't know if that Spanish tiki-taka system. I'm not trying to put it in a box. Their system,
Sure.
but of course, if you want to be successful as a team, you're gonna have to have a style of play. And I don't know if that style of play has really done wonders for them the past couple European competitions. They've always had this kind of thing where they've not been able to produce, or they get to the latter stages and they try to produce and they end up going to penalties and lose to another team.
They just seem to be missing that final finishing touches.
Mhm.
And I think it's because that front line is like kind of inconsistent. Morata
Yeah.
is very inconsistent.
Mhm.
I think with Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, I think they're both young. When you're young, you take a little more like chances and risks.
Yeah.
I think that's good for a Spain side who was very solid in the midfield, solid in defense, just kind of lacks that finishing touches that we saw from like David Villa
Mhm.
and Fernando Torres back in the day. So yeah, hopefully they catch a good stride. I think they see who their first match is against. I think it's Croatia, if I'm not mistaken.
Fixtures. It is against
is-
Croatia.
Yeah, so tough game to start off, right? Like that will pretty much whoever
Yeah.
comes out with a result that game, unless it's a draw, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even then, it's kind of a result for Croatia, I think, going in kind of the underdogs against Spain. So yeah, let's rank them.
Let's put them in where we think they're gonna go.
Let's go number one. All right, ready? Same time. 1, 2, 3.
Spain. Okay.
All right, so we
All right.
both
We're not.
agree on Spain.
Yeah.
Spain, we both agree on. I think we're just gonna disagree on this next
On
choice.
Italy and Croatia.
Yeah, I personally think Croatia's gonna finish second.
All right. Do you want like a flip a coin or something?
Do you really don't think Croatia's
I
gonna finish
really
over
don't
Italy?
think Croatia's gonna finish over Italy.
Okay, let's leave it as like second / third, Italy Croatia. But if we gotta give an official prediction, I'm willing to budge. I'll say Croatia finishes because you know what?
Do you think Italy gets into the playoff or the knockout stages if they don't finish third? That's my thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think either way
Okay.
both teams finish.
Okay,
third.
cool. Then I'm
Yeah.
cool with that.
Yeah, I think both of them finish.
All right,
third.
so we got that going. On to Group C. Let's start plowing through these. I think this one's going to be a little bit easy. Denmark, England, Serbia, and Slovenia.
Okay, let's do some quick results checks, okay? Denmark, obviously one of the better teams coming in. They always got solid players. Christian Eriksen just played his first game for 90 minutes after being out for the national team for a while, huh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they did have that whole story last Euros where Christian Eriksen passes out, do a cardiac arrest before the game, or during the game or before the game.
I think during the game.
It was during the game
Yeah,
actually.
during the game.
During the game, and of course that kind of is one of that was their rally cry that sent them into the knockout stages for that competition. So they play well from what I remember last time they played in the Euros.
No, they definitely do. They always play consistent. They give big teams a tough match. So let's look at their last big team they played, which was France, right? In the World Cup actually. And they only lost 2-1. So not a bad result. They didn't get demolished. They never get really destroyed, and even their losses, their worst loss I've seen in the last 2 years is against Northern Ireland, and they lost 2-0, right?
Yeah.
That was like in the middle of November, so who knows if they even played one of their best squads or not? Because that's the middle of the European season. You don't want to injure your players. So I think not a bad team and not the best team. Any thoughts on that before we move on?
Yeah, I don't think I have anything to add.
England.
England.
You start off with England. 'Cause
Oh, man.
There's a lot to say about England.
Yeah, England's going to be one of the stories to watch for the whole entire Euros. Even if you're not an England hater like myself and likes to watch all the absolute aggregators over there across the pond absolutely lose their minds. I don't know if you've been keeping up, but they've been absolutely losing their minds over a friendly game.
Yeah.
And losing against Iceland 2-1. A bunch of overreactors over there. But this is a crucial tournament. I think they have the right to be on edge. It is probably the last tournament that Southgate's going to be managing.
Oh, he's stepping down.
He's stepping down after this. That's his tournament.
Okay,
I do believe so. Fact check me on that, guys. But I do believe he's stepping down. And then, of course, very talented squad. But we've done this song and dance before with England. Very talented squad. Lots of hope. New system. Think they're going to change their ways, and then they're going to obviously find a way to bottle it in the latter parts of the competition. So I don't. We'll get into the later parts of what I think is going to happen with England, but I think they blitz this group.
I would say so too. I mean, I think recent results don't necessarily indicate that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they just lost to Iceland yesterday. Before that, they're not. They lost to Brazil 1-0. Drew Belgium. Got a win over Bosnia and Herzegovina. But like, they're not a bad team, and they rarely play their actual full strong starting 11.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times during the season, the Premier League is probably one of the most draining leagues because of all those the double cup competition, the European competition. So yeah, I understand why they don't. I agree with you. I think they do blaze this group as well. It's not the most it's not the most competitive group.
No,
I'll say that.
No, I think so as well, because these next two teams in Serbia and Slovenia.
Man, Serbia. I'm looking at
Serbia.
I'm looking about the match. Just the inconsistency of Serbia. Win, draw, loss. Win, draw, loss. Win, draw, loss.
Yeah.
So you pretty much you don't know what they're gonna do. They beat Sweden, but they lose to Austria. They beat Cyprus, but they lose to Russia. They draw to Serbia. So I'm sorry, they draw to Bulgaria. So
Okay.
they're a very inconsistent team, and the U.S. just scored.
Oh yeah. Oh, we get one back.
So I hit my bet over 2 goals.
Right. Or no, right. I'm sorry. That's Timmy Weah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Good for him.
Yep.
Maybe we can salvage a draw from this game.
Maybe.
There's still a lot of time.
I think, yeah.
3 minutes.
If you get this to 2-2, I think that's a great little mini win that you can take into the Copa America. But we'll get into that a little bit later. I do want to bring up a little thing because I really have nothing with Serbia and Slovenia. I just kind of want to give them a little bit of credit. Because looking at their history, it's not the most rich of history when it comes to success. Of course, as Yugoslavia, they had 2 times they were runners-up as Yugoslavia back in the day. That was the 1960s Euro and the 1968 Euro. They came in second, and then 4th place in the 1976 Euro as well. So pretty successful as Yugoslavia as a country. They then obviously, that whole eastern part of Europe kind of is a jumble of history that I don't necessarily know, but I'm willing to start to learn a little bit more about. And of course, they were at free Yugoslavia / Serbia, Montenegro for a couple Euros, and then now as they are fully revised Serbia, they haven't qualified at all as a country. So this is the first time they've ever qualified as Serbia, the country. So that's really great. Good props to you guys for getting the World Euro qualifier.
That's good.
And then for Slovenia, who are of course part of this Yugoslavia tank that was in the 60s.
Yeah.
They're now Slovenia, and of course, first time for them to qualify as well.
A lot of revolutions.
As Slovenia.
Right? A lot of revolutions, a lot of splitting of governments.
Not the first time. They qualified in the group stages, I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, second time. This is the first time in a while. I mean, they haven't qualified since 2000. So that's a good thing for the country.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. This Wikipedia page is a little bit more complicated to look at, but I would just say that props to them for qualifying. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them. I mean, of course they have the Milinkovic Savic brothers.
Serbia does? Or Slovenia?
Serbia.
Oh.
And I think here's where my knowledge lacks.
Let's fact check ourselves
Because Serbia, I'm not sure. I think Mitrovic plays for Serbia.
Yeah, I think so too.
but I'm not sure with Slovenia
So
or Serbia.
I don't. I mean, let's look at the bench. If anything, I don't for Serbia. I don't see.
See nothing.
I don't see any player that like I immediately recognized for Slovenia. Sorry, and for Serbia, uh, let's look at their recent match versus Sweden where they won 3-0. Yeah, they got Milinkovic Savic. Um, they got Mitrovic and Vlahovic.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So they got some good players right there.
So that's. Do you think?
Oh, they got Tadic, dude.
Oh, two Tadic.
From
Tadic is
and they got Luka Jovic,
Tadic is a legend.
former Real Madrid player.
Okay. Okay, so Serbia has some players.
They got some good players. Let's do predictions.
So they go third, obviously,
I
probably
think,
over Slovenia.
I think they go third over Slovenia as well.
And England, Denmark 1-2.
England, Denmark.
Okay. All right.
With Denmark potentially surprising and going first.
That
They've
would,
done it before.
I wouldn't put it past them, especially with England in the competitions. But we'll go into Group D, and that is with Austria, France, Netherlands, and Poland.
Wow, another group of death, huh? A slightly less group of death.
Yeah.
But all four of those teams are pretty solid.
You would say so. You would say so.
Teams. Let's start off with Austria.
Yeah, let's go with Austria.
I don't think David Alaba got called up because he's still coming back from injury. So I would be surprised if he did. But let's see, they got Limer. Oh, Limer actually.
Conrad Limer. Yeah, okay.
He played really good in the semifinal against Real Madrid. So
They had Sabitzer as well.
Sabitzer's Sabitzer is really good.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Let's look
at their recent form. Let's see if how they're coming into this tournament. They're coming in really good. They're coming in
6-1 Turkey. Damn.
Yeah, they're coming in very hot. The last time they lost was against Belgium, and then the time before that, you got to go back a while. So they're coming in pretty consistent, kind of a harmonious team. Yeah, the last time they lost before they just lost to Belgium 3-2 was in 2022 against Croatia 3-1. So it was a series of losses. A series of 5 bad games in the Nations League, and then since then they've kind of turned it around and been on a kind of a hot streak. So good form.
Good form.
Yeah. Let's talk about France.
France. What we got to say about France?
I mean, they're probably the favorites of the group.
Favorites of the group. One of the teams to take it all the way. I think this might be one of Didier Deschamps' last times taking this French team. And even though I believe he's gotten criticism, I've even given him criticism as probably not being the greatest French coach, even with all that talent, still has probably met expectations.
Won a World Cup, got to another World Cup final. He made it to the Euro final where they lost to Portugal.
Yeah.
So made the 3 finals, lost 2 of them, won 1. And let's see what he does, man.
Yeah.
He has the talent to definitely take them to the final.
I definitely think if they win it all, that probably caps off probably one of the most successful French manager careers of all time. I don't know the records or anything. I'm saying that as an assumption. But I think 1 Euro, 1 World Cup, that's hard to do.
1 Euro, 1 World Cup.
I mean,
last time they did that was 1998 and then 2000.
And I'm just thinking back to like Tiki Taka Spain that won that Euro and then the 2010 World Cup. We praised them for forever.
That was probably the best international tenure I've seen.
Yeah.
From any team.
From Del Bosque, and then just that whole era of players as well.
Yeah. Amazing players.
I think if with the amount of quality they have, that's probably something they're going to try to achieve. Because, I mean, we can run through the French squad, but we can even run through the people that got snubbed from the French squad. That we can make a whole team on them.
Yeah, French squad with household players in every position, household name players. You got Mbappe leading the line.
Yeah.
You got solid players like Camavinga and Tchouaméni in midfield. You got N'Golo Kante coming back.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
N'Golo Kante coming back.
Saliba not making the team is really crazy to me.
He didn't make the team?
No, he didn't make the team.
What?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That is shocking.
I'm going to double check that real quick, but yeah.
I can't believe that. I
Yeah.
almost don't believe you.
I'm looking right now.
Ain't no way Saliba did not make the team. You're lying, dude.
No, he's not there.
He's
He's there, but he's not starting, I don't think.
Yeah, so you made
Maybe
the
I'm
team.
lying.
Yeah, you're lying, man. Saliba made the team. He's not gonna be a starter because I don't think Deschamps favors him.
No, he last game against Luxembourg, he ran out Upamecano and Konate as the two center backs, and then Koundé on the right side. So
which are arguably some of the most clumsy center back pairs.
Yeah, I know.
Now Upamecano, there's a reason why he wasn't starting for Bayern.
No,
because he got a red card, and I remember I rarely watch Bayern games all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
But one week I decided to watch two Bayern games back to back, and Upamecano got red cards in both of them. So one of them was in the Champions League against Lazio, and I forget who they played in the league, but he got another red card.
That's funny.
So
I think between those two, you have to add Saliba because Saliba's a very calming presence.
you got
Those two are very chaotic in nature.
They
I think
are.
But that's just neither here nor there. Let's just go on to.
Because Conte plays next to Van Dijk, who's really calm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? But of course, they're going to be in deep. We'll figure out where they lie here in a little bit.
The Dutch.
The Dutch.
The Dutch are here, and
Talk about a team that could probably underperform. For me.
yeah, I mean they've underperformed the last couple tournaments, certainly. But they're coming in not bad form. They're coming in pretty good. They've only had 2 losses, and two of them are against the top teams like Germany and England. Germany and France.
Germany right there, yeah. And then France.
And then before that, they lost to Italy and Croatia. So they lose against the big teams.
Yeah.
It seems they don't have what it takes to beat these big teams. But overall, they're a good side. And yeah, let's see some of their notable players that they may have. They just beat Canada 4-0.
Yeah, I mean they got the Van Dijks, the De Vries, the De Ligt. You got the Frimpong's, you got the Van de Vens, you got the De Jongs, all the weird like Dutch names. We got all of them in this whole place.
Yeah, I think they're a solid side. I think they qualify. I don't think they make it. Maybe first. I'll say this. I don't think they make it first for sure.
No, I could even see them. I could even see them going third in this group.
I could too. Let's round it up with Poland.
Yep.
Poland's coming in pretty consistent actually. They haven't lost a game since 2023 against Albania.
Nice.
And before that they lost against Moldova. So they lose against pretty like lower ranked teams. Maybe it was just a bad period because in the span of 3 months they lost against Moldova and Albania. So, but since then they've beaten teams like Ukraine. They actually haven't played super competitive teams recently.
Yeah, just what I'm looking at.
They did beat Germany last year in June.
1-0.
1-0. But it's a lot different of a German side now. And yeah, so I'd say I'm thinking Lewandowski, right? Lewandowski, notable players. Anything else to add on Poland?
No,
predictions?
not really. Of course, Polish people, I'm probably not giving them much love as you probably want, but I don't think you guys are going to perform out of that group. I think you don't really have anybody outside Lewandowski, and then Lewandowski has obviously regressed.
He has.
And hasn't really performed in the Polish national team.
He's not the same Lewandowski he was 2-3 years ago. And yeah, you're right. I mean, he needs a lot of support. A national team, you know, it's different from club. You don't play together all the time, so you need to mesh really well, really fast. And yeah, so
France won, obviously.
I think France goes 1. I think Austria and Netherlands are definitely top contenders for 1 and 2. What do you say?
Yeah. Like I said, I think I wouldn't be surprised if Netherlands go third. But do you want to go with tried and true?
Yeah, I think Netherlands finished the second.
All right, so yeah, we'll put Austria in third. We'll see where they lie in the third place.
All right, and we're halfway through.
Are we halfway through?
Yeah.
We're more than halfway through.
No, Eight groups.
1, 2. We just did 4.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
We have 2 left.
Oh shit! I thought there was 8 groups.
We're halfway through. All right.
We're more than halfway through.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Move on.
I thought there was 8 groups in the Euro.
There's a lot of teams in the Euros that have, because obviously they've had more qualification time and opportunities, and then obviously third place spots. There's a lot of teams now. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to 8.
Dude, where's Hamas playing now?
I don't know. You want to look at that real quick?
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know where Hamas has been.
He's coming off.
I'll look it up.
Okay, look it up real quick.
I'll look it up.
But
while we go on to the next group.
Let me just introduce the next group while you go look that up. And next group, Group E, we have Belgium, Romania, Slovakia, and Ukraine. Again, probably one of the lesser groups you're probably going to not pay attention as much to, because you probably have 2 clear winners. Or 1 clear winner. 2 may be up for grabs in this table. But we'll have to see. I obviously have a favorite. I think Ukraine might go first or second. But I wouldn't surprise me if like someone like Romania or Slovakia jumped ahead of them.
So I think Belgium is the clear favorite in this group, right? We'd have to agree on that.
What do you think? Where's Hamas playing now?
Oh, he plays for Sao Paulo in Brazil.
Good for him.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, Belgium obviously number 1.
Belgium number 1. Let's look at the recent form of these other teams. Romania are coming in not in the best form. They got wins over notable teams like Switzerland and Israel. If we consider Israel a notable team.
No,
yeah. They're coming in a bad form. They drew to North Ireland. They lost to Colombia. They drew to Bulgaria. They haven't scored in their last 2 games.
Yeah, that's concerning.
So they're not coming in the hottest. If we look at any notable players for Romania in this previous team, can you think of any Romanian players off the top of your head?
I could think of. I only think of this one guy who. Oh yes, Dragusin. Radu Dragusin. Spurs just bought him. I think he came from Italy. Let me look. Yeah, he came from Genoa. He's supposed to be a promising defender. Romanian, but I can't think of anything else. Yeah.
So, let's see how Romania compares to Slovakia.
Yeah.
Slovakia, who's always been kind of a decent team. They always put up good performances. They're coming in not on a bad record. Out of their last 6 games, they've won 4 of them and drew 1 and lost 1. Their last loss was against Austria, who's, like we said, a consistent team recently. Then they lost to Portugal, and they lost to Portugal again before that in 2 Euro qualifications. So, it seems like they lose against the big teams and don't necessarily get results.
No.
And, yeah.
Do you want to hear some cool history facts?
Yeah, tell me
about Slovakia.
Tell me about Slovakia.
Slovakia have only qualified 6 times in their history. This is being their 6th time. But the other 5 times, not too bad. Of course, the first 3 times they were as Czechoslovakia. 1960, they qualify. They get 3rd. 1976, they qualify. They win the whole thing.
What?
Yes.
Slovakia?
Czechoslovakia, back in 1976.
Okay.
And then in 1980, they go 3rd again. And then for the next 12 years, they don't qualify. They become Slovakia. They don't qualify forever. Obviously, then they get around a 16 appearance in the 2016 Euro, and then back in 2020, they got a group stage. So that's their worst finish ever. That's really interesting to think. But of course, Slovakia probably not the power that Czechoslovakia once was. So I think, again, I don't have anything to say much about them. But good for them. Hamšík was always a really cool player for me when I was growing up.
That's some interesting facts. I didn't know they were once a powerhouse of Europe.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Ukraine are coming in with pretty good form, man.
Which is very surprising.
It is surprising considering what's going on over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So props to them. They've only in the last 10 matches, or maybe more than that, like 12 matches. They've only lost twice to like Italy and Poland, who we've said are decent teams, especially Italy. They recently lost to Poland, and I mean, I got love for the keep, you know, the keeper Lunin.
Yeah.
Lunin is you know.
I mean, they have Mudryk as well.
They got Mudryk. They got Dovbyk, who's
well.
top scorer in La Liga. So they got some good players. Who's their coach? I see. I remember one. This was a while ago, but Andrei Shevchenko used to be the coach.
That's right. Yeah, I think he got sacked last competition they were in.
Yeah. So okay, let's do the predictions. All right.
Yeah, Belgium won.
I say Ukraine too.
Yeah, I can say that.
And then Slovakia third.
Okay. I can honestly see these three teams sneaking into second, like I said, but that seems like the proper order of how you think it would go on paper.
Yeah, if everything is according to stats and recent form.
Yeah.
Last group.
Group F. Now we do in...
Oh, yes. The group with one of my favorite players, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes,
playing in his 6th Euro.
Yeah.
You know, I saw I saw a couple of good posts. Let's you know, I think this is what the people want. They want to know about Ronaldo's stats.
Of course. No, we're here for it.
Because I like to know about Ronaldo's stats. Okay, so let's look at some of these posts I saved this week about Ronaldo. Okay. So these are a list of records that Ronaldo could break in Euro 2024.
Okay.
He could be the first player to participate in 6 different editions of the Euro.
Just
a record that he has set.
Before you keep going, I'm sorry I missed that. Colombia just scored and probably just totally just iced the game out. Just to let everybody know.
Oh wow. Well, I mean,
yeah,
it was expected.
Yeah. Just back to again. Let's go back to the Ronaldo. Say that one more time.
So first player to play in 6 different editions of the Euro.
That's crazy.
That's longevity.
Uh-huh.
And the funniest thing is he's breaking his own record because he was the first player to play in 5. Notable names who are going to also play in 5 is Luka Modric.
Yeah, okay.
So that's pretty impressive. He could be the first player to score in 6 different editions of the Euro, of course. You know, if he scores, which I feel like he's bound to get a goal at least. Maybe a penalty here.
Yeah.
Wow. You feel like the keeper should have saved it, huh?
I didn't really watch it. I think, just as a side note, I think Turner is probably one of the most overrated keepers we've had. Overrated, dude. Overrated.
Oh no, maybe.
He's terrible.
You think so?
He's done some terrible mistakes at Arsenal, and not even just Arsenal, at Forest as well, where we sold him to.
Well, he used to play. He only started playing when he was 16. Did
Yeah,
you know that?
Yeah, he's a baseball player. I get it, man. I think he's overrated.
Okay.
We've been known for our keepers. We've had obviously the twin towers of Baldwin, Brad Fiedel, and Tim Howard. And then we had a
Brad Guzan.
Brad Guzan as well. So we've had the trio of Baldwin protect our goal for a while.
I'm just not. He needs to go bald, dude.
No, he's a full head of hair. He's got a perfect hairline. What are you talking about?
Fuck it.
He's a gorgeous guy. No, I'm just saying he's just a bad keeper.
What if he just embraces the baldness?
If he shaved his head and became a good keeper, then we'll see. But if he shaves his head and becomes a bad keeper still...
You're gonna double roast him?
Yeah.
All right.
But sorry for that. Back to Ronaldo.
Okay, Ronaldo could have the most assists in history. He's currently at 10, and he needs 2 goals to pass it because the record's 11.
Okay.
He could become the oldest player to score in the Euros
if he puts one away. Okay.
Yes, and he could be the oldest player to score a hat trick in the Euros. You know, and you never know when you're gonna get a Ronaldo hat trick. Especially with this group.
Yeah.
With Georgia,
Turkey,
Czechia, and Turkey.
Yeah.
That seems like
Turkey.
They changed the name.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, they did.
So they got tired of being called Turkey because it was like related to like fucking the animal.
There we go.
So they put the E at the end. Turkey.
Okay.
So that's how you say it.
Okay.
Now. Same thing with like.
It was Czechia. Yeah. It was Czech Republic.
Yeah, Czech Republic. Now it's Czechia. So a lot of changes in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Better catch up. Anyway, Oldest player to score a hat trick. He could be the player to score most goals in a single European Euro championship. That one's gonna be a little harder.
Yeah.
He has to score 9 goals.
Oof.
That's tough.
That's tough.
If he gets a hat trick against all those teams, which is pretty unrealistic.
Yeah.
But he could. You never know. He could go juice up.
I would love to see a juiced up Ronaldo, not gonna lie.
That's like peak soccer form.
Yeah.
You never know.
We'll never know, but I do think, like you said, like besides all the Ronaldo accolades that he could grab, I think Portugal have a really great shot at getting their second Euros.
Yeah.
I think it's such a deep team. It's got star players. It's probably the deeper teams that you would think that's coming into this Euro competition. It's just now, is it going to fit all together in one team? And is Roberto Martinez gonna really do it? Because from his history being the Belgian coach, that's probably his most recent.
He did not a bad job.
He didn't do a bad job, but do you think that golden generation overperformed or underperformed? If you had to say,
I don't think they overperformed or underperformed. I think they performed.
you think they met expectations with that golden generation?
They made it to semifinal of the World Cup in 2018.
Yeah.
And I mean, as far as Euros go, well, who did they lose to last time? I'm not sure.
It's in the show notes, but I can look it up too.
By the way, did we talk about Belgium yet?
We kind of did. We kind of blew over them. Because, I mean, is there really anything to say about Belgium?
What group was Belgium in?
The last group. We just didn't talk about them.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
You went over Belgium, but I didn't have anything to add, so I just kind of, when you went past them.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, totally fine.
What this part?
No disrespect to the Belgians. Golden Generation is past its prime.
Yeah, but they're still going to finish first in that
Of course, yeah. Let's see. What was I looking up? I was looking up last time Belgium did at Euro 2020. So they got knocked out in the quarterfinals to Italy. So they got knocked out by the champions last year.
So like you got knocked out by the champions. It made it to it was 2-1.
I don't remember that match.
Oh, that's what I was saying about Denmark. Denmark made it to the semifinals last time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's like Denmark was beating dudes up, bro.
Yeah,
they arguably had like a good. They got a good bracket. They got Wales, who's like a weakened Wales. They got Czechia or Czech Republic back then, whatever. And I mean, they just lost 2-1 to Denmark after extra time.
That's right.
To England. I'm sorry. They lost 2-1 to England after extra time. So
that's right.
Anyway,
Kane scores. Yeah.
Back to Group E. F. So, okay, so Portugal won.
Portugal won.
Okay, let's, I think Turkey's probably has a good shot for second.
Turkey have had a terrible, at least recently, had a terrible run when it comes to major European competitions.
They're also coming in, like, in kind of bad form. They haven't won in 4 games.
Yeah.
Their last win, though, was an impressive one against Germany.
Okay. But they've been knocked out of the group stages last 2 Euros. So I'm not too hot on them. They obviously made it to the semifinals back in 2008, but it does not look like they might do something noteworthy. I mean, what do you think? I don't know anything. I don't know anybody like Çalhanoğlu, but I don't even know if he's like a huge figure in that squad anymore.
I mean, I just know they drew against Italy today.
Okay, I guess
so they held Italy to a stalemate. Let's see their starting lineup. They got Yilmaz, who seems like he's been around forever.
Okay, Yilmaz has been around.
They got. So I mean, they got some decent players.
And that's 4 by Colombia. It was a giveaway by I forget which defender, and then it was a break 3-on-3, and then
not a great
I think Quintero scores here.
Not a good match for USA going into Copa America.
No, it's not. It's a very, very bad match to be honest.
Okay. So I would say probably Georgia is the worst team in this group based on stats. Overall matches going in. I mean, they beat Thailand 8-0. That's their most notable. But they've lose to Norway. They lose to Spain. They lose to Scotland. They barely beat Cyprus. And yeah, they lost to Morocco. So like they're, I say based on stats, I'd say Portugal, Turkey, Czechia, and Georgia.
Portugal, Turkey, Czechia. Okay, I'm not gonna argue there. I would say, let's see. Do I have anything for? Let's see. I'm gonna say Georgia, first time qualifying, so good for them. Of course, Kvitskalia doing their thing.
Shit, yeah, I forgot about him.
But yeah, anything I'd say about them, I don't think anything else. I just say first time qualifying, good job for Georgia. But yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, first time ever qualifying for Georgia. They lost to Denmark, Czech Republic, in the quarterfinals last time.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and Turkey didn't make it out of the group in Euro 2020.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought the show notes out. An hour and a half into the show.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's cool.
Forgot about
that. It's totally fine. Just had to bust your balls for the viewers, All right, but that is our group stage all wrapped up. All right, now we get into third place. We have Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Austria, Slovakia, and Czechia.
That's badass.
As the teams as the third place position. What do we think we're going in? So we're putting Croatia as a lock. That's a lock right there.
I think Austria is a lock too. Based on form, they've been in really good form.
I'm not going to disagree with you there.
I think the worst team at all those is probably Slovakia.
Yeah, so they're going down.
Yeah, and actually, I think
I would back Hungary too.
I'd back Hungary just because they're always consistent.
Yeah.
The thing is, those two teams right there.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I would say
toss up for me.
I would say Serbia just because they got better overall like players.
Okay, I wouldn't disagree. Let's go Serbia. Let's do that. And now we have our round of 16. Ooh, we have a Spain versus Hungary. Just as I was saying, like they would obviously do something like probably get into the knockout stages and get drawn by a team that's not going to do much, but it takes them all the way to penalties, and then they lose the penalties. This is like a classic Spain lose on penalties match for me.
Yeah, they could if let's say they tear it up into because what remember last time wasn't it Spain who ended up like destroying Costa Rica 9-0 in the World Cup or something, and then they ended up not qualifying.
Oh yeah.
Or no, okay, no, they did qualify. They ended up destroying. Oh wow, we scored one.
No, that's Colombia again. Colombia are just absolutely shitting on us now.
Mind.
What is that? That's Luis Sinisterra now. Oh my word, it's 5-1. That's so bad. All right, whatever.
Let me see this.
Whatever.
All right, so
what the heck was that from Turner? Did you see that?
What did he do?
He literally I kid you not. If you're watching this game, go back and look at this. They cut to Turner. This dude literally spat, spat a little saliva, and then he swatted it with his hand.
It's weird.
That was so weird.
Weird and impressive.
Yeah.
Minute 87, if you guys want to see it.
Yeah.
All right. I think Spain is known to do that before in the past, but wow, what a bad giveaway from USA center back.
Yeah. We're just falling apart here.
Yeah. We're not into it anymore. Like you can just tell.
Yeah.
They're just terrible giveaway.
Yeah, it's terrible. By Vickers.
Anyway. All right, so I think come on. I mean, yeah, it happens, but come on. I think Spain.
Okay, we'll go Spain. I'm just saying that could be.
It could be.
That could be a little nail biter one for the Spanish. Germany versus Denmark.
Now Denmark, depending on how good
that'd
they
be perform. A fun game. I think if they're gonna perform like they did before, it's a fun game.
Yeah, but I think Germany at home, Germany.
Deutschland.
Now this is another one that Portugal could easily trip up on, right? If Vlahovic decides to kind of step up his game a little bit, score one on Portugal, you could see it happening. Mm-hmm. But I think the favorites are Portugal, especially if they're in good form coming in off that group stage.
100% Portugal. Netherlands and Ukraine.
That one's a little more even.
Yeah.
I think my instinct initially says Netherlands, but if I think about it a little more, Ukraine could give them a real problem. What do you think?
I think the same thinking as you. I think it could be a tougher game for the Netherlands. I think this is the one they get by, but I think this is the last one they get by with. Because I think, like we've talked about before, the Dutch have been able to settle weaker teams relatively, if you would consider them weaker historically, and then once they get to the bigger teams, historically they tend to lose recently. So I think I'm gonna back them for this one, but I don't think any further.
Okay, I would agree.
All right.
And I also wouldn't be surprised if Ukraine win.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say that either. Let's go down to Belgium and Croatia. I think that's the closest match out of our round of 16.
That one's tough.
I'm going Croatia. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think Croatia do it.
So, oh, wow. I would agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I would agree with you. I would say Croatia just knows how to win.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It may not be pretty, but they'll beat Belgium.
Compared to Belgium, who, I mean, they've gone to latter stages, but I think they've always had that point where they choke.
Yeah.
I choke maybe the bad word, but they just fall short of what I want them to be. This is probably like a 4-1 or a 5-1.
Yeah.
France is going to obviously demolish Turkey.
I think Turkey doesn't have a chance against France.
Mm-hmm.
I think England, also Austria.
Yeah.
Even though Austria's coming in good form, depending on how the tournament goes, I think England just have the better quality all around.
That goes right there.
And then Switzerland could shock Italy. I'm just saying, Switzerland have been shocking teams.
As soon as you said that, I have a nice smile on my face because I think that's what I'm going to pick. I think Switzerland going to beat Italy.
Really? So you think the champions lose?
I think the champions lose. I think Belgium and Italy are the two crazy ones we get knocked out early.
Okay,
I don't think they're performing well.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
I'm down
cool.
for that.
All right, we make it a little exciting. I mean, why pick all the big guys? That's boring. But now we're into the quarterfinals, which our quarterfinals is pretty.
Dude,
it's pretty heat.
The classic Spain versus Germany.
Yeah, that's a bad one.
Man, I think Germany beat Spain.
Yeah.
Germany at home. Spain known for inconsistency, especially in the latter stages. I don't see Spain winning that one.
I don't see it either.
I think aside from like any huge injuries to the German squad, I don't think so.
I think they push them around too.
Yeah. I would say 3-0, like a statement win.
Uh-huh.
Maybe even more, depending on Spain, if like they just fold.
Yeah.
Especially because I don't know. I don't trust Spain's defense.
I don't.
Or scoring abilities.
Uh-huh.
If they prove us wrong, they prove us wrong.
They do, but I think I'm going to have to go with Deutschland.
Yeah.
Again, this is an interesting one, but I have a clear favorite in this match as well.
Yeah, I think like you even said it.
Yeah.
Netherlands, this is where their luck ends.
Mm-hmm.
I think Portugal, if they live up to their potential, because they got so much quality everywhere.
They do. They
have quality over Netherlands. And I mean, if Ronaldo's having a good tournament, even if he's not, if Gonzalo Ramos is having a good tournament, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, if they're linking up well, I like the Vitinha, Paulinho double pivot that they're starting to do. I really grew to like Vitinha this season, especially in the Champions League when I saw him play. I think Portugal will beat Netherlands.
Yeah, I would hope at this point they start really getting to their stride. Because remember when they 6-1? Who they 6-1 in the World Cup? They 6-1 Switzerland in the World Cup knockout stage, and I thought, okay, this team is just going to score goals for the rest of the season, and they just fell short.
Yeah,
but maybe just this next cycle has allowed these players to mature, and I think you got to back them if they.
And they got a different coach.
Yeah, they do. I don't necessarily back Roberto Martinez, but I think I back the goal scoring potential of Portugal over Netherlands.
I agree. We got a classic.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Classic World Cup 2018 final.
Yeah, this is a rematch.
And honestly, I don't see a difference. I don't see.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're dreaming, I would be nice to think about it. Right?
I can see it going to penalties, but I don't see it. I don't see Croatia coming out.
It would be great revenge for Croatia.
It would be
amazing revenge, but I don't see it happening.
Yep. So we're going France.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it's the most English thing to be losing to Switzerland 1-0 the whole game, score in the 90th, play like shit in extra time, and then somehow get a goal in the fucking 115th minute.
Yeah.
And then just park the bus. I can see England doing it, but I don't see England losing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see them choking.
England get it past this part. They could totally just make a mess of this game.
Yeah.
But I think they still get through.
And the only way England don't go through is if they shoot themselves in the foot and they make 2 own goals or something.
Yeah.
But Harry Maguire is not playing this year.
That's true. So
less probability of that.
Now on to our semis with our teams picked. And what a banger of a semi.
Wow, that's a crazy semifinal. And man,
oh man, this is tough.
This
is tough.
Who are we gonna, especially like if this fucking fantasy that we've created in our head about how this potential tournament can go. If Germany are just playing amazing, if they just destroyed Spain, and Portugal come through having beat Netherlands, and they're just playing great, this match is gonna be amazing. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Germany because Portugal never play good against Germany in competitive matches. Never. Okay. They get beat 4-0 or they get beat 1-0, but they don't play good against Germany. They kind of always get scared of Germany.
Yeah.
And that's the issue. What do you think?
I would have to agree with you. My head says Germany, my heart wants Portugal.
Yeah. I would agree. I would say something similar to that, but I mean, especially at home.
No, yeah, Germany, it's home. They got the home, like especially if we predicted like in our scenario, in our little universe that we've created, if Germany absolutely torch that whatever team we were talking about,
Spain.
If they torch Spain, and they go to whatever, they're at the Allianz or they're at BVB's stadium or whatever big stadium they have for the latter stage of the competition, that place is going to be rocking.
It's going to be rocking.
I don't know if Portugal are going to be able to cope with that.
I don't know if they will. I don't know how good Portugal's mentality is. I mean, new coach, a lot of young players, seasoned players too. But, I mean, that German side is going to be knocking on the door.
No. Yeah. I think Ronaldo gets a goal, but I think it might end like a 2-1.
Yeah, it might end 2-1. It might go to penalties. It'll be a close game. I don't think Germany will roll over Portugal the way they did previous teams like Spain. I think Portugal is a little bit better side.
All right.
So I'll go with Germany.
Germany booked their tickets to the final, and they'll be facing...
So this one's interesting, right? Because last time in the World Cup, Kane missed a penalty, right?
Yeah.
And if they meet each other again, that'll be in his head.
Yeah.
And he'll want to get that one back. So, but I mean, France is just too good. Like,
no.
Especially against a fragile back line of England. Who are they going to play? John Stones at the back?
Yeah.
Partner with who?
I don't even know at this point since Harry Maguire. They'll probably play either Ezri Konsa or they'll probably play... They left Braithwaite out, so Konsa... Who else is the other center backs they have? Let's look it up real quick. What am I doing? Down to England. There we go. And they've got Walker, obviously, Trippier, Dunk, Stones, Gomez, Konsa, Gahey. Oh, they did bring Kwanzaa. That's hard. Because so you obviously have Stones. I don't know if I would back Lewis Dunk to be the featured guy. I don't back Joe Gomez either.
I was just watching Lewis Dunk highlights.
Mm-hmm.
How his signature move is like chested back to the keep.
Mm-hmm.
He always like risks it, and then it looks cool in the Premier League and shit. But like that's like dangerous. That's risky.
No, but he's getting up in years. Of course, I think he's a fantastic player, but he's getting up in years. I just don't know. These other 2 or 3 don't have true experience. I don't back Joe Gomez.
Yeah, even if you play like a 3 at the back with Kyle Walker and then maybe Trent out a little bit wider. But I mean, Luke Shaw,
he's played all year.
He's barely played this year.
Yeah,
he gets called. There's just a lack of left backs in England. There's like not enough left-footed players or something like that. I don't know.
I think their system might fail them at that point. If they get all the way to this point,
they're gonna get exposed. Especially because if you got Kyle Walker against Kylian Mbappe, I mean that's gonna be a good matchup. But then you still got Kolo Muani in the middle, or Giroud if he's playing hold up, or you got Dembele on the right. You got piercing runs in midfield from players like Rabiot, Griezmann, Camavinga. So I think the quality is just better for France.
Yeah, I could totally see it being like 2-1 for a very long time, and it'd be a very close game. But then France get a goal later on, ice the game. It's 3-1, and that scoreline just gets blown in proportion, and then every English fan, every football influencer or commentator will absolutely rip into England the very next day.
Yeah,
I think it's a classic scenario.
Classic England.
So we're going France, and we're on to the final.
And this
Germany versus France.
And this one could just go either way. Really, right? It could really go either way.
Yeah.
Because, France lost at home 2016 to Portugal when everyone thought France was going to win and destroy Portugal.
Yeah.
But I guess the difference was, will France lose 2 finals back to back?
Yeah.
And they very well could.
They could.
Because, personally, I think Germany's going to win the thing. I think Germany's going to win the whole tournament. Just based on recent change in form. And I think it'd be a perfect way for Toni Kroos to go out.
Yeah. I don't think I disagree with you. I think when I first saw this matchup, I think Germany came to my head first.
Yeah.
I don't put it past France to do it, but I think being the host nation right now, that's so much of an advantage, especially if you own it and you take advantage of it. Of course, it could obviously make you crumble and choke if you let the pressure get to you. But I think if you ride that pressure and allow the fan base to get really, really excited for a potential championship, I think you do it. And I think this team does it.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying. Germany gets their 4th Euro. That's there. Says it like it is.
Germany. Toni Kroos retires on a high.
Yeah. Mbappe is shocked again at a final.
Nagelsmann becomes the youngest ever international
Ooh,
coach.
yeah, to think about that. Where would Nagelsmann's next potential spot be?
Yeah.
After being on that high of a championship from a European competition.
He can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere he wants.
No. But that's our Euro prediction. If you disagree or agree, let us know in the comments, and even go to FotMob and do the predictor yourself. Have a little fun. It's a little 15 minutes. Of course, we stretch it out to probably 2 hours, but that's just us. We talk a lot. But let's go into Copa America.
Let's take a break.
Take a break? All right.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Here's a word from our sponsors.
All right.